Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another Daily Destiny with Jessie B. I am Jessie Christensen, and this morning I want to share one truth for you to meditate on that will give you hope during life's storms. And so the word meditate, the word itself literally means to dwell on anything in thought, to contemplate, to study, to turn, and to cycle any subject in our mind. So what we are dwelling on is really important. And so I want to start out in Hebrews. It says in Hebrews 12, 1 through 2, let us run with endurance the race that is set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. And so when we are going through the storms in life, what are we meditating on? Are we dwelling on the storms around us, or are we focusing and keeping our eyes on Jesus? And so I want to share a quick story with you about fixing our eyes on Jesus from the Bible. And it starts out with the disciples, and they're in a boat. They're in a boat, and there's wind around them, and there's waves around them, and they see Jesus walking towards them. And Peter, one of the disciples, he says, Lord, if that is you, let me come out to you. And so Jesus says, come. So Peter gets out of the boat, and he walks towards Jesus, and he walked on water. And so remember that Peter, the disciple, is a human being just like you and just like me. But as long as he was looking at Jesus, fixing his, the Holy Spirit was able to work through Peter, and he was able to do the impossible. And so he was doing just fine. Peter was walking on water towards Jesus until the moment that he took his eyes off Jesus. He took his eyes off, and he saw the waves and the wind around him, and he started to get afraid. And he started to look at his natural circumstances. And human logic kicked in and started to tell him, what are you doing? You can't do this. And Peter took his eyes off Jesus, and he started to sink. And so how many times has that happened to us, where we are so focused on our natural circumstances around us, and we start to start thinking, and the enemy comes in and starts to tell us like that we can't do this, and what are you doing? And we start to get afraid, and we start to sink. And we forget that when we keep our eyes on Jesus, that impossible things can happen. And so today, if you are being rocked by the storms, and you're just feeling, you're looking at your natural circumstances, and you're wondering, what am I supposed to do? I want to encourage you to keep your eyes on Jesus and meditate on his glory and his grace, and your faith will increase. And the Holy Spirit will empower you with his strength and his wisdom, and with unlimited resources for you to walk out in victory in every storm in your life. And so by the power of the Holy Spirit, when we keep our eyes on Jesus, when we meditate on his grace and his mercy, we can live in the extraordinary and even the impossible. So, keeping our gaze on Jesus and meditate on his grace and glory today if you are going through that storm. So thank you guys for joining me this morning. Thank you, Amina. Good morning, Philip. Hi, AJ. Thanks for joining me this morning. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. And remember that you are worthy, you are beautiful, and you are strong. And I will see you guys on Friday. All right, bye-bye.